I'm Greg Watkins, Executive Director of the British Chamber of Commerce, Thailand. Welcome back to Grant Thornton on Business with Greg Watkins. I'm here with Chris Cracknell, Chairman of Grant Thornton and an Honorary Advisor to the BCCG Board. We're discussing the post-COVID-19 business landscape in Thailand and beyond. Chris, for all types of organisations, getting the right people on the team has always been important. How have recent events affected the way this process will play out?
Thank you, Greg. I think it's been really interesting watching how individuals have responded to the challenges caused by, firstly, COVID-19 and then the economic crisis that has come about across the world. Some people have managed this challenge very well and responded to it, and yet a very large proportion of populations around the world have shrunk and feared the changes and challenges that are happening. The same is true within businesses. Some people in our businesses have responded well and seen it as an opportunity to look for new ways of working, and others have found it really difficult to adapt. Even a simple thing as adapting to using video conferencing can be a challenge for a number of people who rely more on their social interaction with people face to face. And so it's brought about a need to think about how we operate and how we behave differently. Looking forward, the teamwork that exists within an organization that we may have been able to generate in team meetings face-to-face may not come back for some time. And we need to do this team leadership through video conferencing and other forms of communication. It requires a different style and stance. How the power network within an organization, the influencers and detractors, who they are, how they operate, will also be key for leadership to understand. And I think going forward, we will need to assess people at the time of recruitment with psychometric testing and other forms of evaluation to ensure we choose people that fit our culture and the new way of working. And they may not be the same assessment criteria as pre-COVID. So we're in a period of huge change about how we look at our people, how we look at recruiting, how we look at leading teams, and how we look at making teams effective. But there are tools out there to help us do this. We need to embrace them and use the output fully in designing our business leadership teams for the future.
Thanks, Chris. Following on from those comments, let's discuss leadership a little. A leader's job is to get the most out of their team. What kinds of methods should they be using these days to keep productivity as high as possible?
Well, COVID has caused change in how people have had to lead their businesses. And I think there has been a shift in the way people look at their strategies. Firstly, COVID-19 and the economic crisis has damaged the majority of strategies in the short term. It has meant that businesses have now had to turn to short-term planning, immediate decisions, having multiple options. This is a different style for many leaders who have been used to sort of setting things in railroad tracks and letting it unfold and keeping people aligned to them. We're having to be much more agile, responding to changes daily and weekly. This has meant an increase in communication. Is it verbal? Is it by video conference? Is it in writing? How do we get that communication out to our staff? How do we demonstrate as leaders of our businesses that we are in charge and yet consultative to find the best answers to take our businesses forward? If we look at the global stage, leaders in Singapore, New Zealand are getting huge praise at the way they have offered stability and certainty about the way they have led and communicated with their populations. Elsewhere around the world, there's actually been huge criticism of some of the leaders that you might have thought could have stepped up and been strong in this environment, and they have failed or not received the adulation in public that they might have expected. In business, it's exactly the same for leaders. They've needed to adjust their style, they've needed to become more personal, but they've needed to increase communication, they've needed to listen, but they've also needed to make quick decisions, have multiple options, and been open to new ways of working. Looking to recreate the past is no success for a future leader. It's about adapting to the new world. It's not the fittest or the brightest, but it's those that adapt most quickly that will survive in business today and going forward. our leaders really need to embrace that quickly.
Many thanks, Chris. It's been great to have you with us to share your insights and ideas.
Thank you, Greg.